Partnered by Times Influence.
The first ever Sustainable Development Goals Summit was hosted by United Nations Global Compact Network India on the theme of leveraging CSR for achieving SDGs the way forward. This is a unique initiative that aims to build a more prosperous, more equal and a more secure world by the year 2030. The summit kicked off with the welcome address by the Executive Director of Global Compact Network India, Kamal Singh.
It is truly an honor and privilege to welcome you all to our first ever SDG Summit. The India in the matrix of sustainable development goals plays a very, very significant role. And in the last few months that I have been here, the kind of engagement that I had with Niti Aayog, with the secretaries to the Government of India, with these private stakeholder, or our civil society organizations, or even our own UN agencies, there is only one buzz that how can we make an impact and how can we align SDGs as India's developmental agenda. I would like to, at this moment, congratulate you for being part of this deliberation and wish you a great learning experience in the day ahead. So thank you very much for joining us and my best wishes. Thank you.
Next up was an engaging session on the topic Accelerating Change, Establishing an Interconnect between SDG and CSR.
What we are about to discuss is really the very heart of this summit. Accelerating change. So all the initiatives that we are taking on the front of the SDGs and CSR, are they really accelerating the process of our development and actually changing the way we are doing things in these arenas? Let me call upon Srinath from the Yes Bank to open up the discussions with his thoughts.
The amount of deficit for financing SDGs is tremendous. The SDG financing specifically for India is looking at around $960 billion, out of which the available target is only about $560 billion. We're able to mobilize only $560 billion. So the huge deficit of $400 billion in terms of financing the SDGs. And I'm sure most of you here would agree that on aggregate, the Companies Act or the 2% CSR would not be equivalent to mobilizing that the deficit of $400 billion. So then what do we do? So at least at the bank, what we have done is we need to prioritize because we want to go behind a targeted approach towards SDGs. So we know as a corporate, at least what we have learned, if we have targets, then targets can be broken down into specific, measurable, achievable milestones.
May I now call upon Leena Srivastav from Terry University to give us her thoughts.
The Agenda 2030 document talks about the fact that the SDGs have to be seen to be integrated and indivisible. So earlier I heard Mr. Kamal Singh speak about the fact that you have identified 7 SDGs to focus on, but it would be wonderful if while looking at these 7 SDGs, we could also see how to leverage one for the other.
We will now request Vaishali Sinha from Renew Power to share with us her perspectives.
I think while we are talking about SDGs and CSR, if we were to talk about SDGs to become an integral part of the way we are doing business, I think it's very important to go beyond SDGs and CSR. It's about how we can actually, as an organization, integrate it in the way we do business across departments and have that effect, which we could call the SDG effect. And if you were to look at the various stakeholders which is going to make this possible, it's not only our businesses, it's also about obviously what the government is doing, what the NGOs and other people from the civil society are doing, what corporates are doing. But as was just mentioned, it's also about bringing all of them together effectively.
Before I move to Ranjan, please tell us from your point of view, you lead up a very dynamic and a very successful business school. How are you approaching these topics? What is your perspective? How are you looking at it?
I believe one of the larger challenges of management education, and this is related to you and PRME, that when we send students out, have they seen India in its entirety? Even to talk about addressing SDGs, the first thing is you need the sensitivity, the awareness, and the desire to understand. So we need to curate experiences. I do not believe this can be taught by telling students what they should do.
So let me call upon the last speaker, Meenakshi from CAF, to enlighten us with her thoughts.
The agenda of development is pretty huge for our country. And by signing up to SDGs as country, our government, our businesses, the people of these countries actually are, and also putting a time frame to it, we have actually challenged ourselves. It's a very significant challenge, but I strongly feel that collaboration is the way forward. Through collaboration, we can really make a difference in this, in addressing the development challenges of our country.
2 or 3 things that you really left us very thoughtful about. One is that we must not allow SDGs to get into this silo mentality. They are so inextricably linked to each other. How can we leverage one for the other, or integrate one for the other? The second point, your CSR ultimately is going to be as good as the vertical you create. The professionalism that you bring into that vertical, and you related HR with that, the capacities that you develop within your CSR vertical. And finally, this point about planning. You can talk about outcomes which ultimately is the result of what we do. But it will never be achieved unless we have thought through in its entirety what we want to do. A very big thank you to all my fellow panelists for making this such an engaging conversation, and to the audience for giving us so much support and a patient listening. Thank you.
So this initiative is very important because sustainability now has come to occupy center stage, not only for societies and countries in the world, but equally for businesses, because businesses are realizing that they cannot make profit unless they address issues of sustainability, which have to do with the planet and which have to do with people also. So conferences like this create awareness, enable us to share best practices, to cross-fertilize, and hope that people will go out of here with 1 or 2 ideas at least, which they can go and then implement.
I think this is an incredible initiative. This is, I think, the first platform ever where CSR and sustainability are coming together and examining this incredibly wonderful question: how can CSR and sustainability be interlinked to ensure that our goals for both CSR and sustainability are met? This is an incredible initiative, and from my side and from everyone, every single participant, let me say it's an honor and a privilege to be here. I wish the event all success.
We were actually wondering, how do you do CSR in a manner in which it has a tangible impact on the SDGs? And then the team got together under the able mentorship of Dr. Chatterjee to think of ways in which we could curate a conversation so that the practitioners could do CSR in a manner that the SDGs get positively impacted.
I think the point which was mentioned about the quiz which they've conducted is an extremely powerful tool to spread awareness around the SDGs. I think that's very critical. I think if you want to engage people, the first step is to make them aware. And I've heard very good things about the quiz. I saw the engagement and the quality of people who participated. I think it's a great first step.
The purpose of organizing this summit is to prepare an agenda for the country that within next 13 years, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals with 169 targets are to be achieved by investing in infrastructure development, and a lot of preparation to be done by the private sector, government agencies and civil society.
As you know, the objective of UN Global Compact is to build capacity, undertake advocacy, recognize excellence, and also share some of the best practices and trends globally. Towards this endeavor, we have organized this SDG Summit for the first time, which is basically addressing the imperative of bringing corporates, civil society organizations, government agencies, as well as UN agencies together on one platform.
India has a lot of problems. And therefore, there is an opportunity to address these problems by partnerships, and partnerships of corporate India, the social sector, and the management institutes working together to make a difference.
Starting with, in the next segment, watch highlights from the first ever sustainability quiz.
See our regional champions.
With an objective to assess the current awareness and provide opportunities to sensitize its stakeholders, the first ever sustainability quiz was organized as part of the SDG Summit. After the regional rounds held in New Delhi and Mumbai, 6 teams made it to the grand finale round.
Hello and welcome to a showstopper quiz. United Nations Global Compact is the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative. Over the past 15 years, the United Nations Global Compact has built the biggest global platform for businesses to responsibly address challenges around the world. This year, we threw down a quiz challenge and the corporates literally responded resoundingly. Let's get started. With me are the top 6 corporate teams from the Northern and the Western regional round, who have made it to the national finals.
Team A, Hero Motocorp. Team B, MDI Gurgaon. Team C, MRPL. Team D, Indian Oil Corporation. Team E, Tata Consultancy Services. And Team F, Mahindra.
I now get started, and the first round is a direct round, which we will start with Team A, and the rules are as follows. Plus 100 if you answer your own direct question, plus 50 if you answer your opponent's question on the rebound, 10 seconds thinking time after I've asked a direct question, no thinking time on the rebound. And question 1 for Team A. He famously said, "My passion is to put empathy at the center of everything I pursue, from the products we launch to the new markets we enter." Close quote. Extracted from the brand new book called Hit Refresh. Can you name the author?
Satya Nadella.
Saurav and Sangya get cracking with the correct answer, which is Satya Nadella. And the next is a direct question for MDI Gurgaon. And your question is, who or what was Time Magazine's Person of the Year in 1988? Perhaps the second time that the Time Magazine Person of the Year was not really a person.
Personal computer.
That is not the correct answer, and the question moves on the rebound to Team C, that is MRPL.
It's a deep blue supercomputer.
Is not correct. On the left-hand side, IOCL has the first bonus chance.
The internet.
Not right, Verghese.
We'll go for planet Earth.
And you are right, because the correct answer is the endangered Earth. 50 points to Team TCS. And with that, it's time for the visual round. The rules are as follows. We will start this round with Team F, that is Mahindra. 100 for direct, 50 for bonus. 10 seconds thinking time when it is your direct. No thinking time when it is your bonus. Team F can choose any number from the grid between 1 and 6, and after that, the other teams can pick up any unused number. Team F, please take your pick.
3.
Your question Mahindra is, who is the famous co-author and climate change champion seen here with Karl Pope? Shubham and Arun, pass that. Let's see what Anurag and Jakantan have to offer us in terms of an answer.
Bloomberg.
This is 3 times New York Mayor Bloomberg, 50 points to TCS. TCS mostly picking up their points on the bonus. Will they be able to score now on a direct? We go back to the grid and give TCS the chance to pick their question.
We'll pick number 2.
No, he is not a celebrity cricket umpire announcing a sixer. Who is this European Union leader?
Emmanuel Macron, French president.
That is absolutely correct, and that means 100 more points for Team TCS, and the next is a direct for IOCL.
We'll go with 4.
And your question is, can you name this head who is most likely to step down at the end of 2018 or beginning of 2019?
Emperor Akihito of Japan.
This is Emperor Akihito of Japan, 100 points to Indian Oil. And with that, we come to the end of round 2. If sustainability be your passion, then let's play on. Because the next round is an audio round. The rules remain the same, plus 100 if it is your own question, and plus 50 on a bonus chance. Question coming up for MDI Gurgaon, identify the speaker commenting on a crisis.
The task of carrying out 3 responsibilities: democratic transition, peace and stability, and development. None of these challenges are either easy or simple. Transition for us is a transition to democracy after half a century or more of authoritarian rule. And now we are in the process of nurturing our nascent and yet imperfect democracy. Peace and stability was something that we had to achieve after nearly 70 years of internal conflict that started on the day of our independence back in 1948.
Yes, MDI Gurgaon.
Bangladesh first PM, Mehbooba.
The first Prime Minister of Bangladesh was not a lady. Team C.
Angelina Merkel.
Is not correct. Team D, Indian Oil.
Yeah, we'll guess Aung San Suu Kyi.
That is absolutely correct. Aung San Suu Kyi, 50 points to IOCL. And question number 4 coming up for IOCL. 2 worlds separated by water and land magically come together in this heartwarming stand-up and cheer adventure about the friendship between a troubled young boy and whom?
Like the river Jordan, and I will then say to thee, you are my friend, carry me like you are my brother, love me like a mother, will you be there?
Yes, IOCL.
Vaguely remember this video. There's a boy and a dolphin who's a friend of that boy which comes to shore.
You said a boy and a dolphin. Moving on to Team E, TCS.
Free Willy the whale.
Free Willy the whale is the correct answer. 50 points to TCS. With that, we come to the end of round 3. With responses on the buzzer and with 50 points hanging in balance for each question, it's time to go, go, go. Goods and Services Tax was launched on July 1st, 2017. Who is the chairman of the GST Council? And Team B, MDI, has gone for the buzzer.
Hasmukh Adia.
Incorrect. You lose minus 25. The Union Minister of Finance, Arun Jaitley. What suffix, when added to both head and tail, can help you fly slower? Team E.
Winds. Headwinds, tailwinds.
Fantastic answer. Plus 50 to Team E. The Ganga Action Plan was launched in 1986 by the then Prime Minister. What is the present program approved as a flagship program by the present government called? Team A.
Namami Gange.
Is absolutely correct. And that's 50 points to Hero MotoCorp. Time for the last and the final round, which is the rapid fire round. You have 3 questions in 45 seconds, plus 50 for every correct answer and minus 25 for every wrong answer. 1 answer per question, but you can come back to a previously unanswered question. Time remaining. Indian Oil, you have 3 questions coming up on science and technology. If you're ready, your time starts now. In 2015, when scientists detected gravitational waves, which century-old theory was confirmed?
General theory of relativity.
Absolutely correct, 50 points. Which Japanese tech giant, which is an FY, is investing $100 billion in tech companies?
SoftBank.
Plus 50. Question number 3. According to the Paris Agreement of 2015, the countries of the world agreed to keep global warming well below a rise of how many degrees?
2 degrees.
You got it. Your topic, TCS, is mixed bag. 3 questions on mixed bag for you, TCS. Question 1. Paradoxes like the coexistence of hunger and obesity, the overexploitation of natural resources and food waste have formed the basis of which analysis?
Pass.
Question 2. 2018 will be the 50th death anniversary of Martin Luther King. His movement pushed which president to enact laws that banned segregation?
Lyndon Johnson.
Is correct. Question number 3. Japan has set the ambitious goal of allowing what kind of deliveries in Tokyo in time for 2020 Olympics?
Pass.
And Anurag Krishna and his partner, the gentleman with the interesting hairstyle, have just beaten the gentleman with grey hair.
At the end of all the rounds, here are the final scores. Here are some glimpses from the prize distribution ceremony of the winners of the first ever sustainability quiz. The second runner-up was Hero MotoCorp, awarded with 40,000 rupees as prize money. The first runner-up was Indian Oil Corporation, awarded with 60,000 rupees as prize money. And the winner of the first ever sustainability quiz was Tata Consultancy Services, rewarded with 1 lakh rupees as prize money.
Nice to take part in an event which is focused entirely on sustainability, sustainability quiz as such, which is a very unique concept which you may have never seen. And to have such a great playing field for corporates as well as students, B schools, was a wonderful feeling.
I would say it's a good initiative by the UNGC, United Nations Global Compact, and we hope to see such initiatives more and more from the other groups as well. So it was really, I would say it was the first ball which has been thrown, and we would like to see more and more of these. So just to sum up, it was really the last ball victory, and Jankardan hit it for the 6.
As we are all aware, sustainability is the buzzword in the entire globe today. And this initiative by United Nations, the Global Compact India, to conduct this kind of quiz in Delhi and Mumbai is to bring all premier institutions as well as the corporates on board in conducting this quiz program. We will bring about awareness, and also this is only a beginning of a long momentum, that it will have a good impact, so that many companies would like to emulate this kind of initiatives which are likely to emerge through this quiz competition.
The objective behind this first ever quiz on sustainability under the aegis of United Nations Global Compact India was to basically make people aware what these sustainable goals are, and also to sensitize our young managers from corporate India, and also tell our budding managers from business school about these goals.
Partnered by Times Influence.